Hi everyone, it's WAPI webinars. Me, Alex Friedman, with you today, and my wonderful guest, Daniel Little.
LinkMyBooks effectively automates Amazon bookkeeping. If you use a system like LinkMyBooks, then we can do all that for you. So we hook up directly to
you mean the spreadsheets?
Yeah, no.
Hi everyone, it's WAPI webinars. Me, Alex Friedman, with you today, and my wonderful guest, Daniel Little. Hi Daniel.
Hi Alex, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Thank you very much that you came to us and you accepted our invitation. We're very, very pleased to have you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Daniel is co-founder and CEO of LinkMyBooks, ex-seven-figure Amazon seller and general numbers nerd. This is right?
That's right.
This is about you.
Yeah, I think I wrote that.
Okay, wonderful. So, Daniel, tell us your first time at our YouTube channel. We are very glad to have you. So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you came to e-commerce world? What did you do before? Like, who showed you this world? What is your story?
Yeah. Okay. So, I've always been sort of entrepreneurial and liked sales roles. So all of my working career, I was working in sales. And it got to a point where I just didn't feel challenged by the sales environment working for someone else. I felt it was that time, that old age saying, like, trading your time for money. And I felt like there was something else that was always niggling at me. And I had a friend who was selling mobile phone cases on eBay, and he was making good money. And he'd opened a shop and he had loads of staff. And it just felt like, okay, if he can do that, then maybe I can ask him, like, how can I do something similar? So I spoke to him and said, what would you give me as advice in terms of, like, if I want to set up some sort of online business? And he said, well, I wouldn't recommend eBay. I would recommend Amazon and this new thing called private label selling. And this was back in 2013, so 10 years ago. And I got in the door basically with private label selling at that point. I did an online course called Amazing Selling Machine, which you may have heard of, and basically learned how to build a private label business. I built the first private label business up to about 6 figures, like sort of medium 6 figures in terms of annual sales. And then I sold that because I realized that cash flow was the biggest problem, was that you could make good money and make good profit, but you needed lots of cash flow in order to launch the next product, and it just wasn't turning quick enough. So I thought, well, if I sell this business as it is with the handful of products that I had at that time, then I can take the money from that business sale and build an even bigger business. And so that's what I did. I sold the first one after running it for 18 months, had about 7 products. And then I built up the next one and I launched a product every single month for 25 months in a row. So I had 25 products by the end of that. We were doing like mid 7 figures now in terms of annual sale, and then sold that and started LinkMyBooks, the software company.
Wow. Why did you choose to go to the software company, but not to build this third seller, like with 8-9 figure in Amazon?
Good question. And I think the reason is because, again, I just didn't really feel challenged anymore. Like, I'd launched 30 odd products and it was just becoming like rinse and repeat. And it wasn't like, I don't know, I've always got this like niggling personality where I need to be challenged. It needs to be something that's genuinely fun to do. And I think it just became a bit tedious. And also the worry of that Amazon could just block your products at any point, and you would wake up to those emails in the morning and you would have to deal with all that nightmare. It just became like, I think we need to sell this and start again something new. And by that time, I'd already seen that there was sort of a gap in the market for an automated bookkeeping solution for Amazon sellers, especially based in the UK. And so I decided that I was going to start something like that.
Cool, wonderful. We're slightly coming to the topic of our today webinar. So our today's topic is mistakes sellers make with e-commerce bookkeeping. And this is like 100% connected to what your company is doing, right?
100%, yeah. So LinkMyBooks effectively automates Amazon bookkeeping, also for eBay, Etsy, Shopify, and we've got Walmart and TikTok coming as well. But yeah, the mistakes that sellers make is something that we obviously have a good deal of experience with now after working with 8,000 plus online sellers across those marketplaces. So yeah, we like to share that information to make sure that all of the sellers out there are not making the same mistakes and they are paying the correct amount of taxes, because that's what it all is about. If you make mistakes in your bookkeeping, there's a risk you can pay too much or too little tax, both of which you don't want to do because they both have consequences.
I understand you. So stage is yours. Please share with us what you have prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to focus on 3 major mistakes that we see time and time again with sellers today. The first one is if we sort of stick around the Amazon theme, because I know that WAPI integrates with Amazon as well, don't they? So if we think about how sellers do their bookkeeping, the typical approach is that they will take the amount that lands into their bank account and they will just treat that as sales. This is what sellers do initially until they realize that that amount is not just sales. And so that's the biggest mistake that we see, that sellers think, right, okay, Amazon has deposited £10,000 or dollars or whatever into my bank account, and that's my sales revenue. And the problem with that is that's not correct. So the Amazon deposit that they make to you is not just sales. It's sales, refunds, some of their fees, it's reimbursements, it's loans, it's items that are being reserved or payments that are being reserved for future payout. So unless you break down all of those transactions, then there's a risk that you get your accounting wrong, which means that you'll then pay the wrong amount of tax because you are under declaring or over declaring your sales turnovers. And so that can lead to, if you're a US seller, paying too much or too little income tax. And if you're a UK or an Australian seller, then it could be even worse. You could end up paying too much or too little VAT or GST. So that's a big one. You don't want to be making that mistake.
My first thought was about the VAT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for the European sellers and UK sellers, this is a big one. UK sellers, I would say probably 75% of the people we work with are making some form of mistake in their bookkeeping, which is meaning that most of the time they actually end up overpaying VAT, which we'll come to in a second because that's the second example. But this first one, the way that you resolve that is by not just accounting for the net deposit into your bank account as sales. What you need to be doing is you need to be breaking down that net deposit into all of its individual components so that you know each and everything, like sales, refunds, fees, taxes, all that needs to be broken down so that you can accurately account for it. Not just from a tax point of view, but also so that you know how successful or how profitable your business is. Because if you don't know that, then you could be selling some products that you think are making money, and then you're actually not making money by the time you take off all your fees and stuff like that. So it's really important that you know your figures. So it's important to dive down into the detail.
Thank you very much for watching our webinars. I hope you like it. So my company WAPI is creating all of this, and I'll take my chance and tell you a little bit more about WAPI. If you're selling something, for example, you're selling wonderful sunglasses, you live in Italy and the Italian market is full of your sunglasses and everybody is very happy. So now you want to go global, you want to go international. So what you need to find the right sales channel, and then you need to send all these products to your customers. That's where WAPI comes in. We have integrated a huge amount of sales channels. We have huge amount of partners, service providers in e-com that will help you to expand to any country where you want. Send us an email, ask your question. Our key account manager will help you to grow your business to a new level. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you that you subscribe, and stay tuned. Good luck!
Right way is to break this amount into exact definitions, like what is, it's not the sales, what is it about, what this money is, right? And what
Correct.
you do after you make the breakdown.
Correct, yeah. So if you think about an Amazon payout, so say you've received £10,000 from Amazon, you're a UK seller, for example, then what you would need to do is you'd need to identify all of the transactions that make up that payout and work out what they are. So you would split all the sales together, the refunds together, the fees together, and then you would work out the taxes on those items as well. And obviously that is a time-consuming process, and it takes a lot of patience, I suppose is the word, because you've got to combine various reports from Amazon, which we'll sort of get to why LinkMyBooks is a potential solution for that towards the end. But the second most important thing is that people, or the biggest mistake people make, is that they don't split their sales correctly. So first of all, you've got the payout amount, and that gets broken down into the different types of transaction. But now you're still not finished, because you need to work out where all of these sales have gone to and where they've gone from in terms of warehouses, in order to, again, work out your tax liabilities. So if we take, again, an example of a UK seller, for example, where they've made some sales that have gone to customers in the UK, and they've made some sales that have gone to customers outside the UK, then those need to be separated. Otherwise, if they just treat all of those sales as sales to UK customers, they're going to overpay VAT. And this is the number one thing that we see with UK sellers, especially, is that they don't separate their sales out. They just assume that, oh, well, I only sell on Amazon.co.uk, and therefore all of my sales must be going to UK customers. But the problem is that just because a sale is done on Amazon UK, as in Amazon.co.uk marketplace, that has nothing to do with where the customer is. The customer could be, I'm sitting in Sweden currently.
In Latvia, it can be in Latvia. I go to Amazon D, I go to Amazon UK like every week.
Exactly, yeah. So customers are located all over the world, and it can be even further away, like Australia and the US and stuff like that. And then Amazon has this program called the Global Logistics Program. So they will ship your goods to these customers, or you could be using something like WAPI to fulfill around the world as well. And the problem is that if you don't separate those sales out, then you're going to end up accounting for them wrongly in terms of taxes. So what we see time and time again is that sellers will group all of their sales for Amazon.co.uk payouts as just 20% VAT on everything, because they assume that they're all going to the UK. And by separating them out and saying, well, these have gone to the UK, but these haven't, the ones that haven't gone to the UK, they are treated differently for tax, generally zero rated. So you'll pay no VAT on them in the UK. And therefore, you're saving quite a lot of VAT. And so just as an example on this one, I worked with an accountant about a month ago who had just become an accountant for a new client. And the client was doing quite a lot of business on Amazon. So they were doing around 50,000 orders a month on Amazon. And they had made a lot of these typical mistakes in terms of not separating their sales out, and various other mistakes in terms of the Amazon fees side of things. So they hadn't allocated the correct tax rates to the different types of fees. And they ended up, when they actually ran their stuff through LinkMyBooks and automated a lot of the bookkeeping, but they went back and looked at 2 years previous worth of data, compared it to what we said it should be, and then to what they had. And they ended up that actually overpaid £100,000 of VAT in that 2-year period.
So that's a lot. That's a nice new car.
Exactly, yeah. So as when the accountant then fed this information back to the client and said, we are going to recover £100,000 worth of VAT for you by adjusting your figures and reclaiming that from HMRC, from the tax office, then the client was...
You managed to reclaim this money back?
Yeah, exactly. So all they did was they just adjusted their figures in their bookkeeping system, in their zero account it was at the time. And then they put a reason into HMRC when they submitted their next VAT return and said, I need to make 100,000 adjustment because of this reason we've over accounted for this VAT on et cetera, and then they provided the audit file that we actually gave them, and then they ended up getting £100,000 back from HMRC.
So what was your success fee from this case?
They subscribed to our service, I suppose.
You're
So I
working
think they
like
are
on the basis of success fee or just subscription?
But they now use LinkMyBooks now that they've seen the value of using LinkMyBooks in terms of keeping their bookkeeping accurate. So they will use us now for their bookkeeping for as long as I can probably imagine. So the success fee for us, I suppose, is that they will now pay us a monthly subscription. I think they pay us like £60 a month or something like that. So they recovered 100,000 and they pay us £60 per month. So pretty good deal.
Yeah, but in this case, like they didn't have any risk from government. They could lose money, but it can be the opposite situation when there is a risk that the government will come and say, "Hey guys, you're not paying the taxes."
Correct, yeah. And that can be even worse because if you're in the opposite position where you actually have underaccounted for your tax liabilities and you owe the government that amount, then they can come later on and realize that you have made that mistake. They will then charge you that tax that you should have paid. They'll charge you a penalty on the top of that, depending on if they think it's a genuine mistake or if they think you've tried to cover it up. And then they'll also charge you interest on all of that as well. So you can end up way out of pocket. So it is super important that you make sure that you do break down your sales by destination country to make sure you're paying the correct amount of VAT, GST, and taxes as well in the US. So that's reason number 2. And then reason number 3, or the biggest mistake that people make in terms of number 3, is they just spend too much time on this. So as you can see now, you've not only got to break down your payouts into the different types of transactions, you've also got to break them down into where the sales and refunds have gone to and from, and all the different types of fees and what the taxes are on those. And to do all of that manually takes a long time. So the biggest mistake, number 3, is that people just try to do this themselves manually with spreadsheets. They download all the data from Amazon, every single payout. They put it through magic pivot tables in Excel, and they hope that the figures are correct. And then they put them into their bookkeeping system and it doesn't quite line up, and they make little adjustments here, there, and everywhere until it does line up. And then they're happy with it. Whereas if you use a system, here comes the plug, if you use a system like LinkMyBooks, then we can do all that for you. So we hook up directly to
you mean the spreadsheets?
Yeah, no. Spreadsheets, no. So we hook up directly to the sales channels and then to your bookkeeping system, so Xero or QuickBooks, and we pull all that information every time you receive a payout from the sales channel. We break down all the transactions automatically, and then we check every single order to make sure we know where the order's gone to and from. And then we allocate everything to an entry and post that across to your bookkeeping system. So it means that you end up with a deposit into the bank account for £10,000, an invoice that matches that from LinkMyBooks, which has already been generated. And inside of that invoice is all of the detail broken down: sales by country, refunds by country, all the different types of fees, anything else that's gone through as part of the payout, and all the taxes on those items accurately accounted for as well. And that happens all on autopilot. And that's why mistake number 3, where people just spend too much time on this, it really gets under my skin that in 2023, people are still doing this manually. Like, we live in an age now where AI is everywhere and people are using ChatGPT to write their emails and stuff like that. But they're still every month go into Amazon, download a load of reports, put them into a spreadsheet, and then spend hours trying to work this out, when you can literally just connect it up to LinkMyBooks and it's done for you. So
yeah, sounds wonderful. And how it looks for the new user, for the seller, like how his journey with LinkMyBooks starts?
Yeah, good question. So what they would do is they would first of all go to our website, linkmybooks.com, and they would start a free trial. We do a 14-day free trial, no cards, no credit cards or anything like that. You would hook up your sales channels. So we are approved application for all of the sales channels we connect to. So we're on their app stores effectively. So you would hook up Amazon, for example. You would click to connect Amazon. You would approve access. You would come back to LinkMyBooks, and then you would connect your bookkeeping channel, so Xero or QuickBooks. You would connect up. And then you would go through our setup wizard. And our setup wizard is actually really clever. So what we do is we ask you some questions about your business, and then we help you to make sure you get everything set up correctly. So all the accounts and tax rates set correctly. So that normally takes about 10 minutes. And then once we've done that, we'll start to pull in historical data for the last 90 days for all of your payouts from your sales channels. So again, if we take Amazon as an example, the last 90 days worth of payouts that you've received from Amazon, we'll pull those into LinkMyBooks. And then you can decide, do you want to post them all across to your bookkeeping system, or do you want to just start from a specific date onwards? So you can decide where your bookkeeping is up to at the moment. Once you've done that, you can just turn on autopilot, and then you never really need to log back into LinkMyBooks. Every time you receive a payout from Amazon, we will break it down correctly, accurately, and post it across to your bookkeeping system. And then you can just match it off in your bank statement. That's it.
How is working your support? Is it like everything is done on the website, or there is like key account manager who can help you, like talk to you, answer your questions, anything like this?
Another great question. So our support team is actually made up of qualified accountants. So all of our support team know what they're talking about. They're all qualified accountants. You can chat with them on the website. You can send them emails. You can book in for one-to-one like onboarding sessions with them, like a video call over Google. So yeah, live support is available, email and also video calls.
Okay, cool. I think it is a very, very valuable service, because it's very similar to logistics. Like the guys, they want to invent new products, they want to do the marketing, and in the result, what they have to do the tough work of an entrepreneur, do the bookkeeping, do the logistics, and all the other things, like the taxes. It's something that like doesn't bring new inspiration, like for for their job and their business. So that's very cool that there is such people as you and I who help them making the tough part easier.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. I think that there's so many parts to running a successful online business. And some of those tasks that you do every month are just a task that you have to do because it's part of running a business. It doesn't help you to grow. It doesn't help you to make more money. It's something you have to do. And I think that accounting and logistics is just part of that. So I think that those tasks, if you can automate them or outsource them, then great. Now you can focus on running your business and growing it through adding new products or new packaging or whatever you want to do. So I think that it is important that people realize what tasks are worth spending their time on and which tasks should be outsourced or automated.
Yeah, that's very. I like this idea also, because when we help with you sellers to save their time, it means that they have possibility to use this time on creating something new, and they can use this time on their growth. It means that by our, like, it's like a win-win synergy scheme when we're taking care of something that is filling their time, and they're now free to grow faster and grow bigger, and we grow together with them. That's why I created the WAPI, to make it easier in Europe, because we have a lot of countries. You need to have the fast delivery. You want to have it cheap, and I just I'm now talking to marketplaces, all over the Europe, and all of them are creating their own fulfillments. And I just think about a seller that needs to talk to the discount fulfillment, Allegro fulfillment, Bol fulfillment, eMAG fulfillment, to talk to 6, 7, 8 different fulfillments and track all the deliveries, integrated everything in one system. It's like just stop selling and just solving this problem. So hopefully there is WAPI that makes it like easy like this. Hopefully there is LinkMyBooks that is making easy the bookkeeping. Cool. So do you have any life hacks for 2023? Something which is changing in bookkeeping, something that people must be aware of, some trends, anything for this year? that will be different from the previous one?
Something different for this year. That's a tricky one. I think that something that is becoming more and more common is people are doing multi-channel approach. So just like you said, they're selling across multiple channels, and you've got the logistics side of things, which is hard to manage across multiple channels unless you're using someone like WAPI. But I think it's the same from an accounting point of view. Like if you start to sell on Amazon and then you branch out to eBay or Shopify or Walmart or Etsy, then all of those platforms have individual accounting methods and different reports. So again, it's you that you're going to need to learn. But by using something like LinkMyBooks, we just suck it all in and we will spit out the results as they should be, and we'll put them in your bookkeeping system. So I think as you start to expand out and become multi-channel, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know that that's a life hack for 2023, but
yeah,
that's like something that came up.
Of course it is. Go multi-channel. This is a life hack, and don't be afraid, because we will help you with all of it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's that now with services like WAPI and LinkMyBooks, that it makes it easier to expand multi-channel. We also work with tax partners, like Taxually. I don't know whether you've heard of them. Yeah. They can help with the EU VAT compliance side of things. So with those three partners in play, it can make a difference, and you can expand out multi-channel without the extra headache.
Next time we should invite Robert together, and we will have a webinar, 3 of us. Okay, cool. So we will definitely put all the links under the video. Do you have any promotion or special offer for viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. If we might have to cut it there because I'm not sure what the actual offer is.
Make it bigger. Make it bigger.
I think we might have one set up already for you. Let me just check. And
it is written in my description. It is written that it's 10% off any plan with coupon WAPI10.
Okay.
I'll help you on this one.
Yeah, that's probably what it is then. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Exactly it. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So if customers sign up using the link in the description below and use the code WAPI10, then they'll receive 10% off any monthly subscription for the life that they are with us.
If they have any questions about the bookkeeping, will there be any contact just to send an email?
Yeah,
or first
So you can either email me directly. My email is daniel@linkmybooks.com. Otherwise, our general support team, as I said, who are made up of qualified accountants, that is support@linkmybooks.com. Otherwise, you can just start a free trial and you can chat with the team directly inside the app, or arrange a free one-to-one onboarding session to go through them with it on a meeting.
Cool, wonderful. So as usual, at the end of the webinar, I ask simple questions. The first simple question is a short takeaway: how to be successful with the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
In e-commerce, of course. It's all about e-commerce.
So I think a short version of what we've talked about is that accuracy is key. That if you've got accurate bookkeeping that breaks everything down correctly, then you'll pay the correct amount of tax and you'll know how profitable your business is. So using something like LinkMyBooks to do that for you is a great success. Cool.
Thank you. And the second short question will be a question to an entrepreneur. Yes, so you are the founder and you're the CEO. So a lot of people want to be like you. Can you tell a short takeaway how to be successful in life in general?
Yeah. I think for this one, then I would say find something that you truly are passionate about. And then it'll be just like they say, that if you love what you work with, then you'll never work a day in your life. And that's exactly how I feel now. It's that all of my life I've enjoyed sales. I really enjoyed the e-commerce space, and I am a numbers nerd. So this for me is the perfect business. I get to live all three of those. The sales side of things, growing the company, it's in the e-commerce space. So I get to talk to all the entrepreneurs in that space. And also it's an accounting software. So it helps me with my numbers nerd side of my brain. So it is just find something that you truly are passionate about. And I can work 60 hours a week and I don't even feel like I've worked that. It's like, it's just fun. I like doing it.
Do what you love. Make your workplace that connects love and growth and sales and numbers. That sounds like wonderful. Yeah. Thank you very much for this takeaway. Yeah. So everybody who have questions about bookkeeping, please contact Daniel. All the contacts under the video. Everybody who wants to, they have problems or issues or any tasks connected with fulfillment and multi-channel and all over the Europe, please contact WAPI, contact me, we will help you. If it is Germany, UK, Spain, Italy, Bulgaria, Romania, Poland. We even opened the warehouse in USA previous year. So we can help you with everything, very simple, very fast deliveries, and you will see everything in one dashboard. Very easy. You will control the stocks. So WAPI fulfillment is ready for you. Just contact us and we will help you. And of course, stay tuned. WAPI webinars every week with you, sharing life hacks, e-commerce knowledge, news, trends. Stay with us. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice day.
Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you that you subscribe and stay tuned. Good luck!